Hi, Cancer. Welcome back to your Tarot and Oracle card reading for September 2021. So as I'm shuffling your cards here, a couple of things that I did see was that this month may be a month of I heard the word new horizons. So there could be something new that you're learning or a new project that you're undertaking. It could even be something as simple as undergoing like a new project in the home. And I love that the Page of Wands just popped out because that's, new creative projects. It's inspiration. It's finding an alternate path to a problem that you have. So I love Page of Wands. It's all about exploring your creativity. It's all about discovering your new talents or a new skill or a new interest even. But it feels like I did see an image of, kind of starting, like wanting to start a garden, like a vegetable garden in your backyard, or, just kind of taking on like a new project, something different, new horizons. Crossing the Emperor. Interesting. Very interesting. Some of you might have a new job where you have a boss that has an Emperor energy. The Emperor energy is it's often associated with father figures. So it's kind of like that relationship with your father, the one, especially one that can be a bit authoritative is the word I'm looking for. Sometimes could be controlling, but not always. Just someone who is very clear cut, organized with the way they do things, kind of expects things to go the way they want them to go. You could also be taking on a project where you are being asked to step into the emperor position. Like you could be someone that is now the leader of a group. You could be someone that everyone is looking to for answers, for creative answers. So I'm kind of seeing that that could go either way. Either you have taken on a new position where you have to kind of deal or work with someone that has in this Emperor energy, or it's a position where you're being asked to kind of step into this role. I'm really strongly feeling it's actually the second interpretation that I just said, where you're being asked to step into this Emperor role, where you may be the leader of something, leading a new group. You may also be starting like a new project or something that you're putting out and presenting to people, and you kind of have to step into this role of leading the way and telling people what to do. So something like that, something tied to a project that you're doing, or a skill that you have to put out, and people are kind of depending on you for something to kind of show people the ropes, something along those lines. You're taking in on an authoritative, not authoritative. Yeah, I guess I could say that. You're kind of being seen as an authority figure this month of September. And then we have the Page of Cups here as well. So it's kind of like, I'm kind of seeing that you are the word I heard was diplomatic with the Page of Cups. I'm kind of seeing that you may be having to deal with people that are maybe a little bit less experienced, maybe younger, or those who are just starting out on a new path, a new stage, and you're kind of leading the way. So it's kind of like you may have apprentices, or you have people working below you, and you're being asked to lead the way. You could be like a teacher, you could be a professor, you could be the boss of something where, people are looking to you as the leader. That seems to be the strong message that's coming in this month for you, Cancer. So we have the Ace of Swords in your past position, and that is clarity. I love the Ace of Swords. It's being able to see the way ahead, clearing through the clutter, and having a clear sense of direction, clearing your mind as well, and having your priorities straight is what I heard with the Ace of Swords. Having clear priorities and knowing where you want to go and what you want to do. I'm also kind of feeling like the Ace of Swords that there is something very clear that you want to accomplish, that you want to do. And maybe you are, sometimes we can hit roadblocks with that. I did kind of sense there's this undertone of roadblocks. balance with something that you're wanting to accomplish. We also have the Eight of Pentacles here. So some of you could be doing a line of work that you're very passionate about, something that comes very naturally to you. Eight of Pentacles is often the card of hard work, but it's also the card of being compensated for that hard work. And it's something, oftentimes it's something you really enjoy doing. So I think that some of you could be very clear about the work that you're doing, like you're very clear on your path. Some of you could be, really living out your calling. Like you have no doubts. It's just, you're not confused. It's not like this, I'm not sure this is where I want to be in my life. You're very clear about your path and you make a significant amount of income from that. And that really supports you. And this month could just be you leveling up. It could be taking on a new face is what I'm hearing, that your work could be taking on a new form or a new face. Like it's kind of expanding into something different or something new, but still kind of closely tied into what you're doing. It's just kind of taking on a different shape now. So that may be something that you might want to look out for this month, is kind of a different spin on something you're already doing in terms of work. Interesting. So we have the Death card and we have the Six of Wands. How interesting. And it's kind of interesting where it almost kind of looks like it's same card, where you have, someone riding on the back of a horse and they're kind of both holding, like the Death card is holding a flag and, the Six of Wands is holding a wand. So Six of Wands is the card of victory. It is... I actually really like this. I think that this is symbolizing the ending. So the Death is endings. It's, it's transformation. It's the ending of something really significant. And kind of starting out on something new. I really like how we have the Six of Wands that kind of pops up next to the Death card, because I feel like what this is saying is the ending of something could be bringing in a victory for you. So maybe there is an ending to a toxic situation. There could be an ending to a phase in your life, but you are the one who is kind of like the winner, right? Like it ends up in your favor. So this is actually a very positive sign here that's coming up for you in September, that you may find that something is finally coming to a close. It could be like an ending with a relationship with someone that you've been, it could be like, a divorce where you're the one who ends up with something that you guys have been debating between who gets this and who gets that, where you end up with more. So that kind of thing. So it's the ending of something significant and where you are the one who ends up in the victory position. So that's really, really good. I like this. This is a good thing. So don't be scared by the Death card. I think it's an ending of some kind of phase that needed to be over with. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. And then, wow. Okay. We have the Strength card, and we also have the Three of Wands in your present emotions here. So, and then we have the Strength card in your environmental sphere. Okay, so there could be some individuals around you in your sphere that's a little bit difficult to deal with. Hopes, dreams, and desires. Okay, clearing out more confusion, lots of options on the table, feeling confused. A few obstacles in your way of maybe some kind of roadblocks here and there. It doesn't seem like it's too overwhelming. It just kind of feels like there may be some minor things throughout the month where it doesn't kind of like happen as fast, or you may have to do it a couple times in order for it to work. So something like that. Let's see, final outcome for Cancer. For the month of September. Okay, Nine of Swords. Okay, so there could be something that worries you or that's kind of keeping you up at night. So I think that this month is going to be a good month to focus on your work. actually. That's what I'm hearing. Work is going to be your kind of refuge this month, because there could be external things that are kind of happening around you where, with this 8 of Pentacles, it does kind of feel like, Cancer, that you do something that is either something you're very good at and you're very passionate about and you love, or it's something that you're good at and it brings in good money. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that you're very passionate about, but it's something that you are very skilled at and it brings a good amount of stability into your life. And it could be also that for some of you, I heard retirement here with the Death card and the 6 of Wands. So maybe some of you are ready to retire. Some of you are kind of approaching where you have enough resources for yourself where you can retire. And so that could be the victory. I just heard that real quick. So that could be something that comes up for you, or something that is kind of on the horizon. I did hear in the beginning of the reading, when I first started shuffling your cards, of new horizons. So that's really cool. That could be, congratulations to those of you who are in that stage in your life. And then we have the 3 of Wands here in your present emotions. So this is also kind of presenting yourself and ready to embark and take on a new form or a new project or a new life, new thing, and kind of seeing how your skills play out, or what you have to offer, how that plays a part in what you're kind of setting out to do. The 3 of Wands is, I always see it as like taking chances and kind of ready to look out. Like, it's kind of like you've accumulated everything you can up until this point, and you're ready to kind of see where you can go with this, or what are your options now. So there's also this kind of observing where we're at here. Okay, I want to go back to, also we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck here, which is really a very good auspicious card. I love this card. It is the card of overflowing emotions, abundance, and relationships, and feeling supported is what I'm hearing. So maybe some of you are going to be surrounded by friends this month of September. Maybe a lot of you are going to be surrounded by loved ones, people who really can hold space for you, people who really get you, people you feel seen around. So this is going to be a good month for that in September, where you kind of feel supported and loved, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a break from maybe some of the external things that are going on. So you may feel like you're being celebrated this month, actually. So that's really nice. Okay. So I want to go back into the Emperor and the Page of Wands. What do we need to know about the Emperor and the Page of Wands? What does Spirit want me to know about the Emperor and Page of Wands? 7 of Earth. Interesting. Okay. So I kind of feel like, 7 of Earth is acquiring, kind of bringing in the fruit of your labor. So it's kind of taking a stock, or taking a look at, everything that you've built up until now, and then seeing where you want to go from there. So you're kind of taking a step back, assessing the situation, and seeing where you want to go. I think that I'm also kind of feeling with the 7 of Earth here that there may be some attention on you. So again, with the Emperor card, you may be in a place of authority, where you're assuming a new role, where people are kind of listening to you, paying attention to you, listening to your new ideas, listening to what you have come up with, that kind of thing. So I kind of feel like that's going to be center around the month of September, where you're contemplating, how can I level up? How can I expand and grow more as a person? Because I kind of feel like you're ready to grow. You're ready to step into something new and different. Okay, what do we need to know about Page of Cups? Patience. Wow. Okay. So what I'm hearing is actually that if you are, I really feel like you're going to be a mentor for people this month. Cancer, that there may be a lot of people leaning on you. There may be quite a few people that are needing your help or needing your guidance. And this is something where it's just going to require you to be a bit more patient, because there may be some individuals that don't want to listen or that don't want to go with what you have to say. I'm kind of feeling like there's an ego battle here. Like there may be someone that is kind of jealous of the position that you get. And so they kind of, now they have to, you're kind of their boss now, and they don't like that, because they could have been vying for that position and they didn't get it and you did. So there's that kind of energy here that I'm seeing. So there's a Page of Cups can also come with immaturity. So because pages are usually symbolized by children or immature energy. So it could be just that you're dealing with people who are immature, who are jealous, who don't really want to listen, that kind of thing. Or it could be just, individuals who don't know any better and they're learning. And it's going to require for you to be a bit more patient, exercise that patience with them. So yeah, Ace of Swords, love. So I kind of feel like here there may be some clarity or some resolution I'm feeling with a love situation or with a relationship. And I kind of feel like right now, or the space that you've been in has been more about you loving yourself and more about you being in your own power and kind of giving that attention and that energy to yourself. I don't really see a whole lot of relationship cards in terms of romantic love. I'm seeing more of like support and feeling surrounded by loved ones. I think this is more about like feeling loved more than like being in love with another person or kind of spending that energy on another person. I think this is more about your internal relationship with yourself. And also kind of being around a support group or being surrounded by people. But I'm not seeing like that fiery passion energy. Not saying that it's not there. I'm just not saying it's not in these cards right now, in my cards. So let's look into the Eight of Pentacles here. Ooh. Okay. King of Earth. Yeah. So a lot of abundance and good abundance that has come in for you in the past here, Cancer. So I don't really feel like that's something that you really need to worry about, at least according to these cards. It's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that you do have enough to support yourself. I'm seeing that you even have enough for a rainy day. So that is really, really good. I think that the money is good here. And I love the King of Earth. I mean, that is stability, and it's long-term stability. It's almost like generational wealth, to the point of generational wealth. So it's like, there is quite a bit of potential also. I think for those of you who are wondering, I'm seeing that for some of you who are working maybe even just starting out in a career where you are doing something you really love. And right now it's bringing in good financial stability. If you're wondering if it's enough to if this is something you can do long-term, because I'm sensing that question. So the King of Earth here is your clarification that it is. That if you can kind of just, if you stick to what you're doing and you like it and you enjoy it and you're wondering if you could keep doing this long term, the King of Earth is clarification that you can do it long term and that you're kind of set if you really like what you do. So if anyone was kind of wondering about that, there's your confirmation there. Okay, let's look into the Death card and the Six of Wands. What does the Death card and Six of Wands have to say for Cancer for September 2021? Magician. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So again, this is the Magician. It pops up when you're ready to put into motion the things that you really want. So it's kind of a Magician I really love because it kind of uses a mastery of all of the elements and asks you, what do you want to manifest now? So I think that Cancer, you're embarking on a new path for yourself and you're kind of starting to assess, you're starting out the beginning steps of a new, but it almost feels like an elevated level though. Like it doesn't kind of feel like you are learning from scratch. It's kind of like, it's just the next stage for you with where you're at right now. So it kind of feels like you're in a new position. it could be a promotion. Maybe some of you have been promoted, and now you're kind of learning the ropes there. 3 of Wands. Beautiful. Okay. Some of you could be doing like a spiritual path. You could be maybe you're a spiritual advisor, a spiritual coach. For other people, I think that you are in a teacher role. Some of you might be teachers. Some of you may be really guiding other people on how to navigate life. Maybe you're teaching them a certain subject, something like that. I am seeing authority, and I'm seeing like people listening to you and people kind of following your lead. So that's going to be that's going to come more into play in the month of September. Kind of feel like it's going to be needed. So maybe some of you are finding yourself in teaching positions when you didn't really realize that was what it was going to be. So I'm feeling like some of you may be caught off guard with how much you're needing to direct people, or how much you're needing to kind of guide people into the right solution. But I am seeing that some of you are very connected with spirit. And that you're going to be using your guidance. You're going to be using your intuition to help you navigate your way through this next journey or this next path. I'm also feeling like there's a strong independent energy to you, Cancer, where you're not really looking to validation or confirmation from people or from society. You're seeking it more from spirit and from within you. So that's going to be something that you turn to quite often this month, is your guidance from spirit. That's going to be because people are turning to you. So you're going to be turning to spirit, is what I'm hearing. Okay. In your environmental sphere, we have the Strength card. So I think that there's just a lot that you're going to be juggling. It's going to be a lot that's coming your way. And we have the Ace of Water, and we have the 9 of Earth. So I love this. 9 of Earth is material stability and abundance. It's about being able to hold on to your finances. I'm also seeing that it's enough to kind of splurge and have a little bit of fun. And so I think that with the 9 of Earth here and the Ace of Water as well, that you may find yourself able to kind of take yourself out to nice places or buy yourself something nice. And I kind of feel like there's a need for this. I feel like there's this need to kind of replenish yourself or feel like cared for. And and it might be something where if some of you feel perhaps guilty, for kind of indulging yourself, or kind of feeling like you, I shouldn't do this or something like that. I don't know. I kind of feel like with the Strength card, there's more about a feeling of what will people say, or, I feel guilty for this, but I think that there's something with needing to be honest with yourself about what it is that you really want for yourself here with the Ace of Water, 9 of Earth, and the Strength card. Like giving yourself permission to want what your heart really wants rather than what you think you're supposed to want. So there's like a sense here of that. Like you may see some kind of discrepancy between what you think you're supposed to want and what you really want. Because the Strength card always comes out when there's like an internal struggle or an internal battle of our egos or what we're programmed to do or programmed to want. And then we may find that what we have been striving for or something that we thought we wanted or thought we believed in may challenge us, to kind of change direction. So maybe kind of be on lookout for something shifting there in terms of your perception of what you thought you wanted versus what you really want. Okay. Oops. Okay. So you have the 7 of Cups here in your hopes, dreams, and desires. So I think that here there's a lot of maybe options on the table. Maybe some of you have a lot of different things going on, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving plates, not really sure which one to pick. And not everything in the cup is good. It's just a lot of things being presented to us. It could also be fogginess or confusion or being on the fence, like not really knowing what you think about something. And let's see what the clarifying card is for the Seven of Cups here. What does Cancer need to know about the Seven of Cups? Three of Fire. Yeah, okay. Again, so that's the Three of Wands that we had earlier. And again, Three of Fire is kind of going off on your own and trekking out and seeing what, I think here it may just be that you not really sure if you're making the right choices and decisions or not. So it's always about kind of, there could be a little bit of hesitancy or not kind of maybe second guessing, like, can I do this? Can I not do this? That kind of thing. Am I making the right choices? And I think that in the month of September, it's going to be more about experimenting and playing around with different ways of doing something to see what fits. So it's okay if you're kind of in this confusion or if you're kind of a bit of in a fog. I think sometimes trial and error is a good way to kind of figure out, what fits best for me. And that way, for sure. That way you can rule out the things that you definitely don't want or the things that you definitely don't want to see happening. So with the Three of Fire, what I'm hearing is kind of just start somewhere and see what is working out for you. And that will light the way. That will help you do like this process of elimination thing there. So that is what the Three of Fire is saying. Okay, so then we have the Nine of Swords in your final outcome. And Nine of Swords is worries. It's being up at night. It's not being able to sleep, thinking about things, ruminating about things. Let's see what the Nine of Swords is about here for Cancer, September 2021. Okay, so I think that Cancer, you're just kind of you could possibly be just worried about the future. You could just be worried about, in general, the state of affairs. You could be worried about kind of seeing some things around you and feeling like what's going to happen. I'm not sure. Kind of there's a lot of unknowns. So you could be, your energy could just be your mind. That's what your mind is. And sometimes it's like you go to bed and you can't get those thoughts out of your mind, or so it could be that you could also be carrying other people's burdens, is what I'm hearing, other people's worries, and not really sure how you're going to solve the situation, is what I'm hearing. Like not really knowing the solution. So feeling stuck, feeling conflicted, and feeling like you can't find a solution to something. So let's see what the Nine of Swords is to say. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords here for Cancer. Okay, so we have the Eight of Water and the Five of Earth. So Five of Earth is often feeling left out in the cold. It's sometimes feeling kind of feeling a sense of lack. So maybe there's something that you want to do or something that you want to have, and maybe you feel like you don't have enough resources or you don't feel like you have enough. An Eight of Water is off in search of what's missing, off in search of something that will help fill you in. What I'm kind of sensing with the Nine of Swords, Eight of Water, and Five of Earth is a perception of lack, tackling a perception of lack. And kind of, this kind of feels like it's in the mind. It may feel like it's physical, but I'm kind of sensing this is actually more in the mind. This is a perception of this, that, and it could just be programming. Like, we were brought up to kind of worry about this one thing. Like maybe you do have like enough abundance here with the King of Earth and the Eight of Pentacles, but maybe you grew up in a home where it was like there was just this belief system that there was never enough, even though there really was. So it's like there is a perception of something that worries you, that keeps you up at night, that feels like you're hitting this block or you don't know how to navigate your way out of it. And it could be causing quite a bit of anxiety and worry within you. I want to pick one more card. I want to ask Spirit, what should Cancer do about the Nine of Swords, Eight of Water, and Five of Earth? How should Cancer deal with the Nine of Swords, Eight of Water, and Five of Earth? Wow. Chariot and the Ten of Air. Okay. So what I heard was you might be just carrying a really heavy burden and things that are actually not really your responsibility. I think that you might be taking on other people's things, or you could be taking on the whole chunk of something when really it should be divided between, like delegated between a couple people. So you could just feel like there is a really heavy weight on you. And it's time, and I think what Spirit is saying, that it's time to let it go. It's time to, like, if there's something that's just not working or you keep hitting a roadblock, I'm hearing from Spirit to mentally put it down for a while. Just if you cannot figure out the solution for it, put it down for a while, because ruminating about it and consistently thinking about it is not going to get you there either. Because if that's what you've been doing, it hasn't been working. So your method of trying to deal with the situation by staying up at night and allowing it to overtake your health and your sleep and your mental space is not helping you. So I'm hearing from Spirit to choose a different way of coping with something that may not be going in the direction that you wanted to go in. And the Chariot card comes with balance. You know, the Chariot card pops up when it's saying to balance your emotions with your mental sphere. So it's like, that's how the Chariot moves forward. That's the only way it moves forward. If we don't have balance, then it doesn't move very well, you know, or sometimes it gets blocked. And I think that sometimes I'm also feeling like if there's too much weight in the Chariot, that also slows the progress down. So what I'm hearing from Spirit is difficult to do, but easy to say, is to take some time to kind of put the expectation, like it could be something that you're putting a lot of expectations on yourself to be something or to accomplish something or to be a certain way. And that could be something that ends up keeping you up at night, where there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of weight on your shoulders. And it's going to be important for you, the month of September, Cancer, to take some time out to work on your mental health and to work on your emotional health, to make sure that you're centered and you're grounded, or you find someone to kind of hold space for you to talk about and let some of these anxieties out, or someone to kind of share your problems with, or even journaling, kind of putting things into perspective. Because I kind of feel like there's a heavy weight that you're holding. You may be taking on too much responsibility about something, and now I can kind of see why the Strength card is coming up here, because the Strength card again kind of asks us, whenever the Strength card comes out, it is usually something that we're pretty afraid of. You know, it's the thing that we're afraid to do. It's the thing that we have massive anxiety doing. And it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyways. I think sometimes that we carry a lot of weight because we think we're responsible for things. And if we put that weight down, it almost feels like the world is going to come crashing down, you know, that we're going to disappoint people and that no one's going to love us anymore if we don't take on everybody's problems and if we don't try to fix everything. And it's like we define ourselves through that. We define our worth through that. And I think that the Chariot and Ten of Air and the Nine of Swords and Eight of Water and Five of Earth is saying that you're still loved, whether you do this or not, whether you fulfill some kind of expectation that the world has on you or not, that Spirit still loves you. And I think that that's going to be really important for you to tune into and tap into this month, Cancer, is to know that you're lovable and you're worthy regardless of what you're failing at or achieving at. That's not what defines your worth. I think that as a society, we are taught that, and that's what we just grow up believing. But I think that Spirit is asking you to love yourself and to know that you're loved, regardless how good of a job you're doing, or whether you kind of carry a burden of like 10 people, So that's going to be something important for you to tune into this month. And maybe that's a wound, or maybe that's something that needs to heal. So you can feel better, and you can get some sleep, and you can go through your month with more lightness and more happiness and joy, regardless of how some things are working out or not. So, okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, what a beautiful card to finish off that little sermon that I just gave. So it's the Star card, which is beautiful because the Star card is the card of hope, and it's the card of faith. It's the card that comes after the Tower card, after something dismantles and breaks down. It's that renewal, and I'm hearing from Spirit that Star card is just what you need. It's that light at the end of the tunnel, that things will work out. Wait and see is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Wait and see that things will work out, and that you are doing a wonderful job, and you just keep going with what you're doing. Maybe take care of yourself a little bit more if you're not already. I think you know yourself best. So if you know deep down that, I could probably do a little bit better taking care of myself, then maybe this month is a good month to spend a little extra time doing that. But I think with the Star card, this is such a positive omen. I love when the Star card comes up, because it's that, hope and that faith. It's that spark. It's that silver lining that comes with, it's the lighthouse in the storm. That it's a place of refuge where you can kind of take a break and feel like everything's okay. So you can look forward to that in the month of September. Yeah, deep freeze. That's your guidance card for this month of September. I think Spirit really wants you to rest. Spirit really wants you to give yourself a break. Spirit wants you to stop worrying about things so much, and to and that may be why something is not working out. That may be something why the Chariot has halted and has not moved. Is that because you could be kind of running yourself really, like stretching yourself really thin. You may be taking on too many projects, too many things. And Spirit really wants you to slow down, and really wants you to take some rest and take some time out for yourself and take care of yourself this month. It's going to be very, very important for your health all around, Cancer. Okay. Okay, this is your challenge card, is purification for the month of September. And yeah, so again, purification. So kind of looking at some of the things that block you, those things may be coming to the surface for you to look at, for you to let go, for you to release, for you to work through. And that may be something that you struggle with, because it could be some deep-seated things that are programmed within us. Like, that's all we know. And now we're being challenged to, deprogram ourselves or rewire ourselves to maybe a healthier coping mechanism, or a healthier way of speaking to ourselves, or a healthier way of treating ourselves. And that's not always the easiest thing, because that's all we know. So be patient with yourself is what I'm hearing with this purification process. Just know that you're going through a purification process, and that things will work out. They will. I love, again, you can use the Star card as that hope, that candle, that things are going to work out. But if things are kind of feel like they're being halted, just know it's because Spirit wants you to rest, because there's a need for you to kind of retreat and take care of yourself and spend that extra time to not stretch yourself too thin. Okay, and what you have to look forward to, your hope card, is adventures. Beautiful. I think you're embarking on a new path, and I think it's one that you're not even aware of, Cancer. I almost kind of feels like it's coming out of left field, that there's some new things and new detours that Spirit's going to ask you to take that are actually extremely beautiful, but you never even would think of to take that route or that detour. So I'm hearing from Spirit to be open this month to what what comes your way, to alternate solutions to things, or to explore a different, there just might be it feels almost like a surprise or something unexpected, but in a good way, where it kind of feels like it's just what you need to refresh your energy, or it feels refreshing, it kind of feels like there's this detour that really pulls you out of this state of like worrying and, kind of like this monotonous, like repetitive cycle of just worrying about things. I kind of feel like Spirit's going to throw something in your path where it kind of causes you to detour off into another route, where you discover something there and it kind of completely distracts you from all your worries and troubles. So I think an adventure is exactly what you need this month. So if you find that you end up on an adventure, then enjoy yourself and allow it to kind of help you break away from things that have been feeling really heavy for you. Okay, what else can Cancer look forward to in the month of September? One more card for Cancer for the month of September. What's another hope card? Action. Beautiful. Okay. Yes. I think that it's beautiful. I think that this is more kind of like, yeah. Okay. So the action card kind of feels like Spirit's like, please do something for yourself. Like, please do, like, put it into action. Don't just think about it. Don't just like wallow in the stress, and think to yourself, oh, I really need to do something for myself. I think that Spirit urges you to go get your hair done, go get your nails, do things that are relaxing, that feel good to you, spend time with friends, that kind of thing. So it's going to be an active month as well. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I'm hearing that you may be invited to some parties, you may be invited to some events, you may be hosting some events yourself, and that's going to be a good thing to look forward to. I feel like if there is any kind of gathering this month, that you're going to enjoy yourself, and it's going to be, again, like I said, I didn't really feel like you were going to be celebrated for something this month, so enjoy that. I think that's something you're really going to need and want. Okay, one more card here for you, Cancer. What is Cancer's animal totem for the month of September? Yeah, okay. So we have the Swan Spirit. It's time for a deep dive. I think this month, Cancer, there may be a reveal of some inner things that have been there for a really long time that it's time for you to look at. So just be patient with yourself. Again, we have that patient card. So it's, be patient with yourself this month, that, there's going to be some things that maybe you have tucked away that you never really wanted to look at, you didn't really want to see, but I think it's going to be very important for you to consider, taking a look at some things that tend to kind of take over whenever stress hits, or whenever something really, something that kind of triggers the certain wounds or certain programming. So I think that there's a need to kind of deprogram something that causes a repetitive cycle or a pattern. And this month may present itself with something like that. So just keep an eye out for that. But it is overall actually a very good month. I think that this is a lot of mental stuff that you might end up tackling this month as well. But overall, it's a really good month. Actually, I think you're going to enjoy yourself, and there's going to be a lot like going on and a lot happening. So take it day by day, and be open to what Spirit has in store for you. So, okay, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for next month in October. Bye, Cancer.